Let's cross borders now, and in keeping with developments in Nairobi's skyline, more prime office space has just been opened up with the unveiling of the FCB Mihrab, a 25-story office tower located at the affluent suburb of Kilimani, just off the Kilimani Ring Road. The tower, which costs 1.3 billion shillings to build, will have its anchor tenant, First Community Bank, move in from its headquarters in Prudential Assurance Building on Wabera Street, Nairobi. Here's more. Well, we'll be getting back to that particular story. And South Sudan is hosting the first ever oil and power conference that seeks to bring together players from the rich oil country, as well as other international investors seeking to get part of the oil pie in the country. This has also attracted a lot of interest from Kenyan companies who are now setting base in Juba. And with the security issues dampening growth in South Sudan, Kenyan insurance companies are ready to provide cover for investors in the oil and gas sector. Our reporter Philip Keitani is in Juba for the conference and tells us more.
The Republic of South Sudan is to host the first dedicated energy and infrastructure event in the nation's history, organized by African Oil and Power and fully commissioned and endorsed by the Transitional Government of National Unity. South Sudan Oil and Power 2017 will be taking place here in Juba.
What this conference presents to us is a very good opportunity in terms of growth in the future. The last international conference that was held here was held back in 2013, 2 weeks before the crisis. This is the only international conference to happen, and specifically so because it's related to oil and gas.
Industry experts, government officials and private sector leaders will advance discussions on the extraordinary investment opportunities in energy and infrastructure in South Sudan. His Excellency Salva Kiir Mayardit, President of South Sudan, will deliver an opening address followed by keynote speeches from the Minister of Petroleum and fellow African ministers of natural resources.
The last couple of months, we've seen the government reinforce security to ensure that the oil fields are operational again. Now, by bringing in the oil and gas conference here, it gives the opportunity for operators who are not in the market, right, to get to hear from the government the commitments that they're making to ensure that further exploration and operations can resume back to normal.
South Sudan Oil and Power will assess the security, technology and infrastructure needs for developing all segments of the industry and how to finance, build and operate new projects. The program will also explore local content, supporting infrastructure such as roads and telecoms, gas monetization and power investment with a focus on regional integration.
95% of the government budget is financed by oil revenues. Now, a small dip in that affects operations, especially around civil servants, infrastructure investments, and that multiplier effect of the supply chain that comes through the oil industry.
The conference has also attracted a number of Kenyan companies like UAP Insurance through its subsidiary in South Sudan. The UAP Insurance South Sudan is already angling for a piece of the lucrative oil and power industry.
We believe our business model is grounded on long-term returns. We're not here to make short-term returns. And that speaks to the type of investments we actually do. You wouldn't construct a 15-story tower anywhere and just walk away after 2 years. You take a long-term view. Yes, there might be a downturn, but it's going to recover.
UAP Insurance South Sudan is one of the underwriters covering risk in diverse sectors of the South Sudan economy, including oil and gas, group life, contractor all risk, medical, among others. For the last 4 years now, South Sudan has been on a crossroad because of political misunderstanding. But with the Oil and Power Conference starting here in Juba, South Sudan will be announcing to the rest of the world that it is peaceful and ready for business with the rest of the world. Philip Keitani, KTN News, from Juba, South Sudan.